They're all here to play Celebrity Squares. And now, here's the Star Master of Celebrity Squares, Bob Monkhouse.
Good luck. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. The show you know is a knockout because you see stars. Hello, celebrities.
Hello, Bob.
Oh, what a great crowd. A high rise of hilarity. And we have two players to play for you right beside me here. And, of course, the object of the game is to get 3 squares in a row, up and down like this, or even across like that, or from corner to corner diagonally, or just 5 squares can win the game. It's up to our players to figure out whether the star is giving a correct answer or just making one up. That's how they win the squares. And the squares are worth £10 each in the first round of the game. And a completed game is worth a bonus of £50. And it really matters about accumulating the most cash because it's the key to a car from the Monkhouse Motor Show.
A nippy 5-door hatchback, a white 4-wheel drive, a sleek cabriolet, a flame red saloon, and an elegant coupe.
Oh, we're applauding the motor cars. And they are beautiful cars. But there's no Skoda. There's no Skoda. I like Skodas because it's so easy to get parts for them. You drive along the motorway, you see them here, you see them there. Do meet our players, please, celebrities. Tony Pavis, would you please tell our stars all about yourself?
Hi, celebrities. My name's Tony. I'm engaged to be married and I'm a post lady from York.
Well, a post lady.
Yes. That's right, Bob.
You're with the Royal Mail.
That's definitely
And
right.
you're engaged to a first-class mail.
Well, he likes to think so.
I'm sure he is. Oh, stamps up again. Explain yourself, please.
Well, we all need to have pay rises, Bob, and that's how it happens.
Yeah, I suppose so, dear. Yeah, well, but the cost of answering my fan mail has gone up to nearly £1 a week. Would you please greet Tony Pavis? Joe?
Hi, Bob.
Who won the toss, Joe?
Tony.
Tony won the toss, so she'll be playing first, but please tell our celebrities all about yourself.
Hello, celebrities. My name's Joe and I'm an electrician from Alderslade in Kent, married to Kay, with 3 children, Carl, Oliver and Layla.
And your wife is Kay.
Kay.
No wonder you look so fit. You have your special K for breakfast every morning. Tell me, you're a master electrician. You can do anything with wires?
Most things, I hope, Bob.
Yeah, I always wanted to be an electrician. I'm no good. But then I gave it up. When I found out a 2-way switch had nothing to do with wife swapping, I thought, no. Don't bother with this. Would you please pick a star, Tony?
I'd like John Inman, please.
So would I. Did you enjoy being with all your old friends on Grace and Favour?
It was really nice. Yes,
I
it was
could never
nice.
figure out which you were meant to be, Grace or the Favour. I'm sorry, John, I interrupted you.
No, it was nice to see us all being alive. I mean, it was good, you know, when you've not seen each other for a long time and then suddenly everybody can walk. It's marvellous.
It's a bit like coming on here, isn't it? If a sailor talks about his 48, he's 48, what is he describing?
Oh, I don't know, but what a big boy.
Well...
If it's his inside leg, I'm free.
Is he describing his 48? Is he describing his weekend leave of 48 hours, or is he using slang for the bosun's mate?
No, I say his weekend leave.
I agree.
It means 48 hours leave. You're right to agree, and Mort gets the square for the first £10 of the game. So,
Frank Boff, please, Bob.
Frank Boff. Frank, welcome to the show, indeed. You're one of the wittiest men on television today.
Thank you.
I've known you many years, Frank. 8th child in a family of 7. What a pleasure to see you here. Frank, I'm 5'9".
Are you?
Yes.
Yeah.
And 1/2 inch tall. 5'9.5 inches. Am I too short to be a policeman in the Metropolitan Police?
Well, that's difficult to say. Why don't you become a policeman in the Metropolitan Police?
Well, I am a bobby.
Well, I think, yes, you probably could, because they don't insist on 6 feet anymore.
I agree with Frank.
You're saying I could get a job in the Metropolitan Police, Frank? I'm not too short.
Theoretically, yes.
And you're agreeing with that?
I agree with that.
That's fine. I just wanted to get that quite clear, because the Metropolitan Police abolished height restrictions about a year ago, and you're right to agree. Cross gets the square £10 and won by you.
I'd like proper staff, please.
Kathy Staff, welcome indeed from the last of the summer wine and all your other successes. You know, don't you think Nora's a bit hard on Compo, Kathy? Because, after all, when it comes to marriage, Compo is not to be sniffed at.
When it comes to anything, Compo's not to be sniffed at.
21 years, that show.
That's right, yes, 21 years.
What a triumph. I remember you on Crossroads. Under British law, Kathy, you are forbidden to marry certain classes of your relatives. How many classes of your relatives are you forbidden to marry? 5 or 25?
There's only one class that worries me. That's men. I think it's 25.
Kathy says it's 25 classes of relatives you're forbidden to marry.
I disagree.
I wish it had been 26, that lot plus my wife. You're wrong to disagree. Kathy's right, and Cross gets the square no money as one.
Polly James, please.
Polly James. Polly, welcome to the show, my darling. How lovely to see you here.
Thank you. Thank you.
I love you all in red, the lady in red. The fellas are crazy for the lady in red. I see.
Oh, keep going. Go
That's
on.
just, it just kills me that Joe's expecting a correct answer from you.
Oh, thanks.
Wow,
Yeah.
you.
No, but don't believe him, Joe. Go on. Carry on, please.
You'd look for a wishbone and a soft-boiled egg. How many children did Victoria and Albert have, Polly? 9 or 10?
9 or 10?
Victoria and Albert.
Well, whichever it was, they were busy little people, weren't they, Kathy?
Definitely.
9 or... Oh, and he was German, so she never said 9. But it was 9.
It was 9.
I agree with Polly. Bob.
Absolutely right to agree. Cross gets the square, and that's a £10 square, a £50 bonus. You now have £70. Congratulations. One of these stars is sitting in the secret square. We don't know which star it is here in the studio. Only you at home can see that. Now you've seen which star is in the secret square, maybe you'd like to know what that square is worth. We'll tell you.
2 nights in one of the most famous wine regions of the world, Bordeaux.
Oh, Bordeaux. Oh, oui. Bordeaux, where the claret comes from. If you get to go to Bordeaux, check with me. I know a place where you can eat dirt cheap. Not great dirt, but good dirt. OK, that's the square. Can you find it? It's your turn to pick a star. Tony.
Adrian, please.
Adrian Walsh. Welcome to the show, Adrian. A popular favourite around here. What can I say to you? I guess one could say you are about the most travelled comedian in the business. You travel everywhere.
That's true, Bob. I've just come back the other day. Actually, I flew into Heathrow on Monday there, and I enjoy going to Heathrow because my brother works there. Yeah, he hides the trolleys.
Adrian, do dogs have more or fewer teeth than we do?
Oh, canine question. It's funny this because this is interrelated because Tony being a postwoman, because she'll actually tell you this is the gospel truth I'm telling here because last summer the post office allowed the postmen and postwomen to wear shorts for the first time. Which disappointed my dog because he likes his food wrapped.
Probably my food.
I don't think dogs are that clever, really, Bob. I really don't. Have you ever seen the way they greet one another? I think dogs, more teeth than humans.
Adrian believes dogs have more teeth than humans.
I disagree.
The average is 42. Some breeds have 44. That's more than we do with only 32. You're wrong to disagree. And Cross gets the square. No money is won.
Keith, please, Bob.
Certainly to Keith Chegwin we go.
Oh, no!
Holiday in Bordeaux. Yes. React correctly to Keith's answer to this question. You'll get a holiday in Bordeaux as well as a £10 square. Keith, what do you call a man obsessed with money?
Noel Edmonds.
I'll give you 2 words. Use one of these. A lucratist or a crematomaniac.
A crematomaniac. Guess.
I'll disagree, Bob.
This is the man from the Big Breakfast Show who's telling us crematomaniac. He learns all the big words from Chris Evans. He's right, you're wrong. Naught gets the square. No money is won. Where's your next naught going to go? What do you say, Tony?
John Inman, please.
John Inman. John, there is a kind of parrot that can kill a sheep. Am I telling the truth or am I fibbing?
You live in a dream world. This thing's stuck up in a tree saying, Polly wants a lamb chop. Are you there, Polly? Can you hear me, Polly?
I can.
It happens on Emmerdale.
I I don't think so.
No, John doesn't believe that.
I agree with John.
I'm afraid it's true. The South African Kia can actually kill a sheep. It's strong enough to do that, so Cross gets the square. No money is won. I can imagine where you're going to go, Joe.
Melandra, please, Bob.
Yes, to Melandra. Melandra, welcome indeed back to Celebrity Squares.
Thank you, Bob.
See that lovely face from Emmerdale Farm. What a beautiful singer you are. I remember you singing at Christmas a couple of years back on Emmerdale. It was wonderful, wonderful. How many popes have there been since St. Peter, Melandra? 162 or 262?
162.
162, says Melandra.
I shall disagree, Bob.
Well, you're right to disagree. 262 popes in St. Peter. Isn't that amazing? So
is.
you're right. You've won a £10 square, £50 bonus, bringing your total to a very healthy £130. Well, there you are. 10, only 10, plays 130, but don't worry about it. We play catchy up on this program. A loser can become a winner as we box on to round 3, and believe me, we will be back in a flash with double the cash. To the show that's full of stars and cars. As you can see, Tony Pavis here from York only has £10 to her name, and she works for the Royal Mail, and she'd like to take away a little more than that if she can. And she's playing Joe Fitzgerald, who's doing well. He comes to us from Walderslade, isn't it, Joe?
That's right, Bob.
Near Chatham in Kent, and he's got £130 up. He's an electrician, and now we're going to double the dough, and I feel sure you can catch up, Tony, by picking a star.
I'd like Bob Mills, please.
Bob Mills, we were all like Bobby. Welcome, Bob, from Games World and from Dial Midnight and from so many shows. In what exotic place, Bob, would you find a collection of expressionless faces staring out to sea?
The King's Theatre, Western Supermare, yeah. We've all been there. I'm sorry, it's just a very unfortunate gig that I wanted. They booed me off. And then booed me back on again. And then booed me off again. And then booed me out the theatre. And then booed me on the train. And then a man phoned me up 2 weeks later and said, "Oh, sorry, I couldn't come, my wife was poorly, but I'm going to boo you now anyway." But have we any suggestions for this?
I'll give you 2 suggestions. Easter Island or Christmas Island?
Easter Island.
What do you think, Tony?
I agree.
Yes, you're right to agree. North gets the square. £20 is won.
Amanda, please, Bob. Amanda, please.
Amanda Reddington. Amanda, welcome to the show at last. Amanda, who played Hercule Poirot in the film of Murder on the Orient Express.
Ooh, that's going back a few years, isn't it? Did you actually say played with Poirot or played Poirot?
No, actually played the part. It was either Albert Finney or it was Peter Ustinov.
Oh, I think I'm going to go with Peter Ustinov.
I'll agree with Amanda.
It was Albert Finney. You're wrong to agree with Amanda. North gets the square. No money is won. I can imagine where you're going next, Tony.
Keith Chegwin, please.
Yes, Keith Chegwin to try and get a winning line of noughts across the top of the game board.
Come here.
Keith, want to ask you about comics.
Oh.
How old is the Beano?
Oh.
Is it over 50 years old or over 60 years old?
Ooh, I'd say over 60 years old.
I agree with Keith.
It's over 50. It was founded in 1938.
sorry.
Oh, big ego.
Oh.
And so we put the cross into Keith's square. No money is won. Where are you going to go next, Joe?
John Ingham, please, Bob.
Year 1830, John. What did King William IV allow his hussars and horse guards to have that were forbidden for the rest of his soldiers?
It's intricate, this. It needs a bit... No, please. I do know. I know perfectly well, but it takes a lot of explaining. It was a special sort of saddle, actually, that was hollow for the cold weather, and it was full of hot mead. And they had a straw. Ha! It was coming up between the legs. They had a straw, and they could, as they were jogging along, and the temperature of the body kept the mead warm, and the mead kept them warm, and it kept them so that they weren't thirsty, and they kept going, and tick-a-tick. And all these poor little fellas that weren't on horses, they were freezing to death running round them, and they're going, And that, children, is the end of that little story. Now,
That's very beautiful, too. King William IV in 1830 allowed his hussars and horse guards to have something forbidden to the rest of his soldiers, either moustaches or manservants.
Moustaches.
I'd agree with John, Bob.
Joe, you agree? You're right to agree. You put your cross in the square after all that, and you've won a further sum and brought yourself to £150.
Kathy Staff, please.
Yes, to block. Kathy, we come to you to block a line of crosses across the board in weight. What is a butcher's stone?
Don't talk to me about butchers. I went in this week and I got a joint and I said, "You're not giving me all that fat." He says, "No, I'm charging you for it."
Well, a butcher's stone, I'm afraid, is in the question, and I want to know whether it's £8 or £15.
Oh, I think it must be 15.
What do you say, Tony?
I disagree.
You're right to disagree. It's £8, and you put another £20 on your £30, and brings you to £50, like that. Yes, thank you.
And Malander, please, Bob.
You have Malander, of course you will, to block that winning line of noughts across the left-hand side of the board. Malander Burrows from Emmerdale Farm. What do you get if you mix rye whiskey, sweet vermouth, and Angostura bitters?
Oh, dear. An Oliver Reed?
Well, you get a cocktail with a name. Harvey Wallbanger or Manhattan?
A Harvey Wallbanger.
I'll disagree, Bob.
You're right to disagree. It's a Manhattan. Cross goes in there. You've successfully blocked that square. Brought your score to £170, like that. Got to go to
Adrian Walsh.
You've got to go to Adrian to block that line of crosses across the middle of the board. Adrian, can a blind chameleon still take on the colours of its environment? A blind chameleon.
I would say yes.
Adrian says yes.
I disagree.
Yes, it is possible. You're wrong to disagree. However, this is game point. Cannot put a cross into Adrian Walsh's square because if you want it there, you've got to put it there yourself, Joe.
Adrian, please, Bob.
Normally, how many pairs of ribs do humans have? 12 or 14?
Depends whether you're Bernard Manning or just a normal person. 12.
I'll agree with Adrian, Bob.
You're right to agree, and you win the £20 square, and you win a £100 bonus, bringing you to £290, just like that. Oh, well played. Let's move on. Now we'll double up again. Every square now is worth £40. A completed game worth £200. Pick a star. Tony, we're going to go fast. We've only got 60 seconds.
John Inman.
John Inman again. John, the Muslim equivalent of the Red Cross organisation. Is it called the Red Crescent or the Red Star? The Red Crescent or the Red Star?
I'll go for the Red Crescent.
Red Crescent.
I agree.
That is right. And you win £40 and naught gets the square.
Keith Chegwin, please, Bob.
Keith Chegwin, are the Fulani and Hausa languages native to Africa or Asia?
Asia.
I'll disagree.
You're right to disagree. It's Africa. Cross gets the square. £40 is added to your score, bringing it to 330. In music, name a star.
Adrian, please.
Adrian Walsh. In music, which word is used to indicate an extended work for voices? Is it cantata or sonata?
Sonata.
I agree.
It isn't sonata, it's cantata. And Cross gets the square, no money is won.
Frank Boff, please,
Frank
Bob.
Boff to win the line. By which name, Frank, do we better know the writer Fingal O'Flaherty Wills? Is it Oscar Wilde or George Bernard Shaw?
George Bernard Shaw.
And I'll say that name again for you. Fingal O'Flaherty Wills is...
I'll agree with Frank. George Bernard Shaw.
It's Oscar Wilde. And Cross does not get the square. Naught gets it instead. No money is won.
Bob Mills, please.
Bob Mills for a winning line. Bill, Bob, how many years does it take the planet Jupiter to orbit the sun once? Is it more or less than 10 years?
More.
I agree.
It is. And you've got a winning line. That gives you a £40 square, a £200 bonus, bringing up to £330, playing 330. We have a tie. We have a tie. For the first time in the history of our show, we have a tie. We've never had a tie on Celebrity Squares before. And we're going to deal with it very simply. I'm going to ask Joe to pick a star.
Adrian Walsh, please, Bob.
Adrian, in 1867, Russia sold Alaska to the USA. What was the price per square mile? More or less than $15?
Less.
I disagree.
You're wrong to disagree. Naught gets the square. Pick a star.
Bob Mills, please.
Bob Mills, in which year was the first bikini bathing suit unveiled in Paris? 1946 or 1948?
1946.
1946.
I agree.
You're right, and you win the game. Well played. £330, Joe. Congratulations. That's tax-free. No one can tax that £330 but you. It's in cash. Take it back in good health to Kent, where you hail from, like I do originally, a man of Kent or a Kentish man, but a good electrician, I know that. And £370 is down to you, Tony Pavis. Oh, are you pleased?
Oh,
Yeah, I
very.
think you are too. That one happy Royal Mail employee is now about to try for one of our big cars in the Monkhouse Motor Show.
A nippy 5-door hatchback in metallic frost blue. A white 4-wheel drive off-road soft top. A sleek cabriolet in Polynesian turquoise. A flame red 1.6 injection special edition saloon. And an elegant coupe in metallic quicksilver.
Tony, it's time to spotlight the car you're going to play for. You can see the lights are flickering around all the limos. The only way to stop that sequence is to push that button. Would you stand round here, please, on the naught, face the motor cars, and let's pick the one that you're going to play for within 10 seconds. Push your luck. Oh, that beautiful, beautiful saloon, a limited edition saloon, the beautiful ethos. Made in this country, very, very rare car. That's what you're playing for. It's worth playing for, isn't it? All right, now, what happens is this. We've asked 3 questions in a public survey. One is on the subject of music, one on the subject of cookery, the other the natural world. Which one would you like to try for?
I'll go for music, please.
Music it is, OK. I have that ready. Now, we've asked this of hundreds and hundreds of people, and they've given us the 20 most popular answers. We want you to come up with 9 of those. That's less than half. But we want you to do it in 30 seconds. Tony, you must wait after each answer so I can say yes or no. The adjudicator is in touch with me through an earpiece. I have to confirm each answer. If you rush your answers, we can't do that, and that would disqualify yourself. We don't want that to happen. If you give me the same answer twice, don't worry. Wrong answers don't count. But you will hear this bell, and that will tell you that it won't count for you up there either. That is to say, you won't light a square, which is what we want you to do. Light all 9 squares if you can, Tony, just like you see them lit now around our celebrities. Let's black out the boxes. You have 30 seconds in which to answer this question. We ask the public to name musical instruments in an orchestra. Let your mind picture an orchestra. Over the next 30 seconds, give me 9 answers that I have on the card. Beginning, good luck. Beginning now.
Harp.
Yes.
Violin.
Yes.
Flute.
Yes.
Piano.
Yes.
Drums.
Yes.
Trombone.
Yes.
Saxophone.
No.
Guitar. Guitar.
No.
Triangle.
Yes.
Triangle. Tambourine.
No.
Uh,
Got 7. But with 7, lucky 7, we can double your £370 and make it £740. We can double your £370 and make it £740. Congratulations to you. Well played, Tony. And thank you to all our celebrities, Bob Mills, and Amanda, and Keith, and Melandra, and John and Adrian, and Kathy, and Polly, and Frank Bob. Oh, and thank you, Tony. You did great. Tony Pavis, ladies and gentlemen. Join us next week and every week here on Celebrity Squares.